Well, hello! I'm back. Welcome to Goose Pond Hideout, and of course, I'm Rob. And yep, I took an entire month off, and I really learned something, and so I wanted to share that with you and get back into things here and explain what happened and explain, what's going on with me to hopefully help you with your life and the things that are going on with you. And I definitely learned some things, and I've been working on a project. I purchased one of those solar generators, and the reason I did that was because we had a big power outage. And one of my favorite sayings in life, I have about 1,000 favorite sayings, but one of my top of the list favorite sayings, up in the top 10, is experience is a hard teacher because she gives the test first and the lesson afterward. And, it's not any big deal really. Nothing terrible happened or dramatic or anything like that. But it's one of those things that I was during the winter, during November, December, January, I was posting two videos, two a week, and trying to stick with that schedule for you because I really do enjoy making these videos. And I was getting kind of burned out, and I was letting the outside world, people out in the digital world, people that I don't even know personally, it all started to kind of weigh on me and the noise of the real world and everything. And, so I published my last video that I published was January 31st. The very last day of January was when I, published the video to you. And I had the two solar panels in the background in the beginning or part of that video. And, I took the entire month of February off. And it was going to be, I was going to take, 2-3 days off. And then 2 or 3 days turned into 4 or 5, turned into a week, turned into 2 weeks. And before I knew it, the entire month had gone by. And here it is, early March now. And so the lesson that, I learned is you got to be careful that when you want to, take a little bit of time off from something, that it doesn't get away from you, especially when it's something that you really enjoy doing. And a lot of times, this time of the year, people are thinking about dieting and exercising, or whatever in your life. And it's easy to say, well, I'm, take a couple days off. I had a bad weekend, so I'm going to take next week off and then I'll get back at it. And before you know it, weeks turn into months. And don't let that happen to you like it, happened to me. And it's just, you start thinking about all the things going on in the world. And just like a silly thing is this morning I was watching the news. I get up early in the morning and make a pot of coffee, and I like to watch a little bit, half an hour, 45 minutes of news, get kind of what the weather prediction's going to be, even though it never turns out what they say. And like one of the things they mentioned for this time of the year now is, motorcycles, because there's a lot of motorcycle activities going on. And I've had a motorcycle license my whole life, or, rating or whatever it would be called in your state. And I built a mini bike as a kid and had all kinds of little mini bikes and different things. And then I, upgraded to, motorcycles. And right when I turned 18, I got my motorcycle rating, and I still have a rating today. And I built a chopper motorcycle in my college age days there and that, with the long chrome front, the easy rider thing. And I think I've shared pictures of that back in some of my old videos. But I haven't had a bike for many years now, since we moved on to the sailboat and now here on the homestead. But I still have, my rating, and I still enjoy it. But anyway, the news article, they were in a big Harley shop, with all the new Harley bikes and that. And, the bikes that they were looking at in that shop, they started at $28,000. And I'm like, what normal person, I mean, I think back when teenagers building bikes and you know, all the different motorcycle gangs and things, and you know, today it's just like everything is so crazy expensive that, you know, even a bike now, you've got to be in the like top 1% of the wage earners. You know, you got to make 150,000 a year to be able to go out and buy a new bike. And you know, it's just ridiculous. And that's the kinds of things that gets my motor running and gets me upset. And of course, you know, it's just a motorcycle, right? It's not like the end of the world or anything. It's not things like egg prices or stuff like that does really impact everybody. And thankfully we have our own eggs, you know, with all of our different bird critters that we have here. And so, you know, that's just the kind of thing that just don't let those things upset you and keep doing what you love to do. So I'm going to be, you know, working on this project. And what happened is I ordered, you know, I bought the solar generator because our power went out. Some vehicle that was too tall, you know, ran down the road and ripped down our power line. So we were without power for a while. And that's one of the, you know, experiences the hard teacher gives the test first and the lesson after, is I said, you know, gee, we better really have some sort of backup more than just a little Honda generator. And I've been thinking, you know, I studied solar energy and that back in college in the 1970s. It was different back then, of course, you know, far more primitive than it is today. Everything was analog. And we studied passive solar and active solar and DC power and AC power and golf cart batteries and, you know, hooking things up in parallel or hooking things up in series and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to share that with you in you know, upcoming videos. So, but yeah, I purchased 2 more solar panels, so I'd have 4, because that's pretty much all you can hook up with the unit that I got. And that's one of the things I'm a little disappointed in the EcoFlow unit that I bought, because it has a limit of 60 volts and 15 amps, which if you multiply that's 900 watts, but it's limited to 500 watt input. And then to stay within those limits, there's no, you know, I can't, unless you found some particular panels that were like, you know, 240 or something like that, you can't even get close to the 500. But anyway, so I got 4 panels, and I ordered a rack from Amazon that was really well priced, and supposedly it shipped in late January, and UPS never got the package. And so I had to wait and wait. I had to wait about 3 weeks before Amazon decided that the shipment must be lost so I could get my money back. So I ordered this rack here, and which is a much better rack, and I'd be able to mount all 4 panels side by side on it instead of the other way, 2 and 2. But it just came the other day, and we've had awful weather here, pouring rain, wind blowing 40-50 miles an hour. And I rigged it up. I put some wood feet on it like a skid, and I went to put the panels on it the other day, and the clamps that hold the panel into the tracks, the hex bolts are a little too long. The panels aren't quite thick enough, so when you tighten the clamp down, the hex bolt bottoms out in the track before the panel's all the way tight. So I had to wait till I could go to the store and purchase some of those diamond discs for my Dremel, so that the whole bolts are really hard, so I can cut them off. And you know, so those are the kinds. So I'm going to talk about all of that and getting it rigged up and show you how to do series and parallel and what that means with the panels, so that you get the right voltage and amperage for your solar unit. And running the cord, you know, into the house. And I'll bring the EcoFlow out so you can see it. And it's going to be, I think you'll be excited about all of that. So those are the kinds of things, you know, is hang in there. Don't learn lessons the hard way. And when a new motorcycle costs $28,000, you know, you got to figure out, you know, you're going to have to build your own, I guess, like I did back in the day. And those are the things. And when you power, you know, stay on top of things. If you have something in your head that you're saying, you know, I really should be thinking about doing that, be thinking about doing that. Don't wait until it's too late. And, you know, I had a real wake-up call with our power going out, because I haven't been too worried about our power here on this homestead. The water company is about 1.5 miles down our road, and they keep the trees trimmed. And when the power goes out, the generator kicks on at the water company and the alarms go off. And so the electric company, you know, knows we're out of power, and we usually get it back on, you know, really fast. But of course, if the line's down, you know, it's going to take a while. And I was lucky that I noticed it about an hour or so after it happened, and they were able, you know, it wasn't bad weather in the middle of a snowstorm or something, and they could come over and hook it back up, that we wouldn't be low man on the totem pole with getting our power back. So I'm pretty excited to be back. I hope you're excited that I'm back. I know I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying, hey Rob, where are you? What are you doing? How come you're not making videos? You okay? So I'm perfectly fine. Nothing bad happened. I just got a little burned out and a little frustrated with the real world, and I just wanted to take a few days off, and it just snowballed for, you know, it ended up being a whole month. So here we are, we're back at it, and you know, we're just gonna make videos as we see fit. I'm not gonna try to stick to any big schedule, and it'll just be what it is. But I'm excited. I'm hoping to make a lot and explain things to you, so that, you know, things like egg prices, things like electricity, and all of those, you know, that you'll be more self-sufficient, because, you know, that's what my thing is being able to take care of yourself, feed your family, have electricity, have lights, and all of that type of thing. Keep your freezer going if you've got a freezer full of food. That was a big panic for us. You know, what's going to happen if our power's out for several days? So I'm glad that I'm back. I hope you're glad that I'm back, because, you know, it's all about freedom for you.